Hi, my name is Amelia Sewall. I interviewed my sous chef Charles Welch at Sepia Restaurant on Jefferson Street. Um, Charlie went to Le Cordon Bleu when he was 20 years old, and he interned at a restaurant called Time, which is now known as Piccolo Sonio, and is under a new chef. It's a completely new restaurant. But after interning at Time, he worked there for 3 years and moved on to one of his friend's restaurant and worked there for about 3 years as well, and worked all of the stations on the hotline, and thought that he would be able to work his way up to being a sous chef there. Unfortunately, the executive chefs there decided to take it into another direction and hire one of their friends. That made Charlie a little angry and ended up moving to Sepia, where he also worked all of the station on the hotline and did make it as the sous chef. And that's why I thought that it would be interesting to interview Charlie on managing, because he's very new to it and he's learned a lot so far. So I thought that it would be great to learn what he has learned. He did find it difficult to make the transition from being a line cook to being a sous chef, because a lot of the people that you work with already have developed friendships with you and they only see you as a friend, not as a boss. So he had to develop that into a new relationship where they were able to respect him. I asked him how his experience in schooling has helped prepare him to manage a kitchen, and he answered, with knowing more than your employees do, always knowing more than your employees do, knowing how to build dishes and menus, and just knowing the classic fundamentals of cooking. He also pointed out that having experience as a server and in front of the house experience is really great as well, because you need to know both aspects of the restaurant, not just back of the house if you're a sous chef. Knowing how to run an entire kitchen staff, all of us know that it definitely would have its rewards and challenges, mostly challenges, as Charlie says. He finds it very difficult to staff on certain days, knowing how many people to have on a certain day and knowing the appropriate workload. He also says that getting your employees to respect you is important and needed in the culinary field in order to get tasks done. Yet on the other hand, when you look at the rewards, you are able to see it just by walking in the restaurant and sitting down and being able to see people enjoying the food that you helped create. I asked him how he's able to balance the stress and your social life when you are working so much, and he says that you need to find a significant other that is able to handle your lifestyle, because you're not only working all the time, but like the person that you're seeing or your friends has to be able to handle the fact that you're not going to be able to see them all the time, because it not only takes a toll on you, but it takes a toll on them as well. He says that you constantly find yourself having to schedule things in like months in advance, because you don't know if you'll be able to do it, so you have to ask for days off. And I think that it's important to know the qualities that one needs when managing a whole entire kitchen staff. And he says that you have to have a high level of attention to detail and excellent communication skills with your staff, both back of the house and front of the house. I asked him how his experience at Sepia has changed, and he said being able to take a step back and observe a situation before jumping to conclusions is necessary, and you need to talk to maybe other managers and other chefs and come up with a solution before you decide to do it on your own, because it might not always be the best one. And being very hot-headed as Charlie is, he tends to want to just jump on something and just assume what has happened when that might not really be the case. So just being able to step back and observe is really necessary when dealing with situations in the kitchen. I also asked him what has worked well with him in regards to management methods, and he stated that also always observing your employees and just walking around and helping them with things that they're doing improperly, or just things that they can do in a different way that can help them move faster, is very important. And teaching your staffs tasks that usually sous chefs do, because that not only makes the staff learn, but it also helps free up the sous chef's time and if there's a busier day. And I asked him how his management style has changed. I mean, he hasn't been doing it for a while, but I'm sure he's learned a lot in the first couple months. And he said that it was difficult to maintain the friendships and still be a boss, which I think is a problem with a lot of bosses now, is being able to be someone's friend, yet being able to tell them what they're doing wrong and still, maintain a good friendship with the person. While discussing his staff, I brought up the fact that, many managers don't evaluate their staff as often as they should, and he disagrees with that. He thinks that it's very important to always evaluate your staff. He tends to do it after the holidays and usually gives people raises, but if they are performing poorly, tell them what they're doing wrong and keep on them and say, you need to work on this. And if they are improving, tell them that they're improving and tell them that they're doing a job. But if they're not, then that he might have to let them go. I also asked him about his hiring process and if he finds it difficult to find new employees. I don't think that it is difficult to find new employees, especially in this economic time, but he does find it difficult to find employees that have the skill set that is important to Sepia, and they usually put ads on Craigslist, but most of the staff that works there now is just all referrals, and I think that's very big in the culinary industry, is who you know, because it can link you to a lot of different jobs. I thought that I walked out of the interview with Charlie learning a lot, and I hope that one day I will be able to look back on this and use it when I'm possibly managing my own kitchen staff. So I thought it was a pleasure interviewing him, and really helpful for me, not just as a homework assignment.